Hello guys, welcome to my new video. My name is Katrin, I'm a front-end developer living in Germany. I do vlogs and tech tutorials. In today's episode I want to talk to you about a topic that is, in my opinion, important to many people, and it is how to navigate imposter syndrome, especially from the perspective of a woman in tech. As you probably know, imposter syndrome affects many of us, almost all of us, at some point. And I want to share my story with you. I think I was hit by it especially very hard after I moved to Germany. So why did it happen? Because at my previous job I was working at a very toxic environment. There were always these big smart tech guys who always tried to catch me every time I didn't know something or made a mistake. So they laughed at me, mocked me, and made me feel like I wasn't supposed to know things. And the funny thing is, it started after I decided to stop being silent and wanted to speak more during the meetings or participate at the conferences and so on. So in the beginning I tried not to pay attention to it, but unfortunately at some point I did let them get to me. So as a result, I became very quiet, reserved. I stopped suggesting ideas, thinking that they are not important or not smart enough. Slowly, I actually myself stopped believing that I know things. Additionally, I also disappeared from the internet. And in my opinion, it was my hugest mistake, because I deleted my Instagram account and I stopped promoting myself as a woman in tech who could show other women that actually it is possible to survive and thrive in this field. So what eventually changed? At some point I saw a YouTube vlog of another woman in tech and I thought, what a mistake I made and why can't I be like her? It's definitely not that, for example, for her it was easier at some point than for me. So why does she continue doing and promoting herself, and how could I let some people's comment get into my head and started believing that I don't deserve to be in this field? So I decided to stop this. I understood that my silence could affect other women. So if I stopped sharing my journey because of self-doubt, other women might decide not to enter this field at all. This is very sad. So I kind of started feeling responsibility, not only for myself, but for many people like me in this field. So when I started thinking what I can do, I understood that actually the problem is that many times we think that we need to overcome imposter syndrome. Eventually the problem is that it never goes away, and you do not need to learn how to overcome it, you need to learn how to exist with it. Before I get to the steps and frameworks that help me to learn how to coexist with it, I want to give you some more examples how imposter syndrome might look like for other people, for example. So for many people it's not something dramatic. It can even be when you decide not to apply for a job because you do not meet 100% of the requirements, or if you believe that you are not good enough to work at some big tech company. For some of us it can be that you stay quiet in the meetings because you think your ideas are not smart enough. It can be to turn down opportunities like to speak or give a presentation at the conferences or give a speech to the client, and you might say that, for example, your colleague could do it better. And it can even be when someone asks you a question and you do not know the answer, and then you feel ashamed because of it. And of course it can be even just comparing yourself to other developers and always thinking that you are not good enough. So the framework that I want to share with you consists of 3 steps that help me to change the situation, to build confidence and learn how to navigate imposter syndrome without trying to overcome it. So the first step is to build expertise in a low-risk environment. What do I mean by that? You do not need to jump straight into giving a huge presentation at some conference or sending your first job application to Google. No, you can start small and move slowly. For example, if your goal is to give a presentation at a conference, learn at first how how to explain technical topics with simple words. Try to explain them to your friends, especially those who are not in tech, and see if they understand you, and then improve your explanation based on their feedback. If your goal is to talk to customers, start by preparing a presentation or a speech that you would like to give to the customer, and then role play it beforehand. You can role play it, for example, by yourself or with ChatGPT, and do it at least 10 or 40 times till you feel sure about what you're going to say and how you're going to say. Because if you do it only 1 to 3 times, it's not going to help. Do it while cooking, while showering, while going for a walk, and then you are going to feel confident when time comes and you give the speech. Another great tool is to record videos. For me, for example, it was the best form of practice. In the beginning, you are probably going to be very shy, you won't speak very confidently, and you probably are not going to like to watch yourself. But by the time you recorded your 10th video, you will see a huge improvement, not only in your confidence, but also how you speak, in your language skills, your articulation, and the way you communicate. You can also start writing articles. Not everyone has to see them, especially when you only started. For example, start writing on Medium. In the beginning, you are not going to have many followers or many people who read your articles. So that's how you focus more on writing for yourself and improving your skills without pressure. Try to post on LinkedIn as well, because LinkedIn is generally a positive network, because people usually don't leave negative comments there. Their employers can see what they write, and most people want to maintain professional image. And because of that, you are more likely to receive a positive feedback, which also can help you to build confidence. And for example, if you're looking for a new job and you also don't feel confident enough, start role-playing interviews. Again, you can do it by yourself or with ChatGPT, and after practicing it 40 times, you will definitely shine at your next interview. Because important thing is to understand that even if you don't know some things, but you speak confidently and you show your skills, your confidence, that you know what you are doing, then the chance that you're still going to get the job is much higher. Then, for example, you know all the stuff in the world, but you are shy, you are not confident, and the interviewer doesn't feel that you really know what you're talking about. So when you start doing these things, you are actually going to be very surprised about how much you actually know in comparison to what you think. So just accept that nobody knows everything. Expertise grows through repetition. So for example, my tool that I chose was to record videos and to post them on YouTube. So I started a YouTube channel. I started explaining front-end topics with simple language. I started doing tutorials, and for example, I wanted to focus on accessibility, so I started talking about it more, do research. It doesn't mean that I know everything. I still don't know many things, and every time when people at work, for example, say, she's an expert in that field, I'm like, no, I'm not, but I'm interested in that field, and I'm very open to learn more and more. And every time when someone comes and asks something, I'm just like, can you give me 10 minutes? I need to do my small research, and then I will get back to you. But it didn't work that way from the very beginning. I started noticing a huge difference after I started my YouTube channel, that I became more confident because I started understanding that I actually know things and I have skills that I need for that field, and I have knowledge to share. And eventually I got my first public speaking opportunity, and I accepted it, and it brought me so much joy. Technical confidence is not the only type of confidence that matters. So step 2 is to become confident in something else. I actually came across this concept in a video by a former CIA agent, Joy Navarro. He talks a lot about building confidence, body language, such things. And one thing that he said really stayed with me. Confidence is transferable. You just need to pick another area in your life where you can build confidence. For example, it can be sport. Let's say you start running. At first, you struggle even to run 1 kilometer, but then you improve. And eventually, at some point, you complete a half marathon. So you become confident. And also, personally, I know how mentally it has influence on my confidence in other areas, because I also love running, and when I run, and for example it is super hard for me and I am at my last 500 meters for example, and that's the moment when I understand if I manage to finish, then I can do anything in my life. So when you become confident in one area, this confidence starts spreading to other parts of your life as well. And literally, it can be anything. Just pick one hobby or one field, like gardening, learning languages, public speaking, acting, anything that interests you. In my case, it was also building the same old YouTube channel. In the beginning, I didn't realize how much it would help me, and looking back, I clearly see the impact it had on me. I still don't have many followers, but it doesn't matter, because that wasn't the point. In the beginning, I was very shy in front of the camera. I post a lot, my language wasn't the best, and after that, watching my videos, I felt how I felt, not comfortably speaking on the camera. But after some time I started noticing a huge difference. It eventually helped me to be more confident with public speaking and giving presentations and even talking to my colleagues or clients. So today I can do these things much easier. I just imagine the same how I prepare myself, for example, for filming my new YouTube video. And for example, now when someone asks me a question or asks me to explain something, I can do it because I did it already on my YouTube channel. Now let's move to the final step, step 3. Give yourself permission not to have all the answers and to make mistakes. I think this is probably where the most people, especially women, in tech struggle a lot, because when we are asked a question, we think that we need to know the answer immediately. But the truth is, we don't have to. It's completely okay to say, I don't know, but I'm going to research it. I don't know, but I'm going to find out, give me 10 minutes. Or I don't know, but I'm going to investigate it and I'll get back to you. So in the past, when colleagues asked me a question, especially those colleagues who seemed determined to prove that I didn't know enough, I would panic. But eventually I understood that I can say I don't know, and that was it. Later I became more comfortable in saying I don't know, but let me get back to you. And suddenly those situations stopped being so scary. I didn't care if someone criticized me, because I was no longer pretending to know everything. So again, the goal is not to know everything. The goal is to know how to learn, how to ask questions, and how to solve problems. Our value as engineers isn't measured by how many answers we have, especially now in the AI era. You can ask all those questions AI and learn. It's measured by how effectively we can find the answer and what we can do with it. As a final takeaway, I want to say that my imposter syndrome didn't disappear when I moved between careers, between countries, when I learned new things, when I gathered more years of experience, started speaking at conferences. It is still here with me. But what changed is that I stopped waiting to become confident before taking action, because confidence is built through taking the action, after you take some actions. So first of all, let me know in the comments what you think about such approach, and and let me know about one thing or goals that you are kind of dreaming about, but you still don't know how to start, or you think that you don't know enough for achieving this goal. And think just about small actions that you can take already now, and maybe another area where you can already start building your confidence. So to recap, first, build the expertise in a low-risk environment where you are not going to be criticized. Second, become confident at some other area outside of work. And the third step is to give yourself a permission that you don't have to know everything. So if you are struggling right now in the tech field, remember that you do not need the proof that you belong in tech. The fact that you are learning, building something, asking questions and showing up is already a proof that you belong. So thank you for watching. If you liked this video or if it helped you in any way, like and subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Tschüss!